everyone, we are going to present our video of history and culture of Silay City.
History of Silay City. Silay was first settled in 1565 under the name Karugkob, which means ribcage in Hiligaynon. In early writings, the settlement was also referred to as Kalugkob, Karakol, and Karako. The last two variations mean snail or spiral in Spanish. Karugkob was built near the mouth of a creek. Nothing is left of the village today. Karugkob was granted as an encomienda to Cristobal Núñez Baroja, one of the 17 soldiers of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, on January 25, 1571. In 1572, the Spanish King Philip II confirmed the title of Marqués Buglas to the heirs of Juan Sebastian Elcano. In the second half of the century, pirate raids escalated in the island, forcing the corregidor of Negros to adopt the policy of flight rather than resistance. People left their home sometimes in 1760 and settled in a new location between two small rivers, Matagoya and Panagao. A palisades or estacada, Spanish for fortification, was constructed to protect the populace from Moro pirates. The place is now known as Sitio Estaca, its name derived from the Spanish word estacada. In 1760, Silay was recognized as a town being referred to in a letter from Governor Juan Jose de Mijares, mentioning Silay as a leading town in the north. In 1776, the Bishop of Cebu considered Silay as the center of the parish. In 1760, it became a pueblo or town. By 1896, it had become a leading sugar-producing area because of the Horno Economico sugar mill, built in 1846 by a Frenchman who became a permanent resident of Silay, Yves Leopold Germain Gaston. In 1780 to 1781, Don Alejo Severino of Haro, Iloilo was named the first gobernadorcillo of the new settlement.
Hugyao Silay Silay Festival. Local and tourists alike flock to the street of Silay City, Negros Occidental, to witness the most grandiose street dance competition in celebration of the city Charter Day. The Hugyao Silay Silay is the main highlight of the week-long celebration of Silay's 60th anniversary, which runs from June 6 to 12, 2017. The festival was derived from the story of Silay, which also the etymology of the city's name. The festival is an annual street dance competition wherein participants from 16 barangays or villages wear colorful costumes made from indigenous materials while they perform gracefully and livelily in the tune of Ascenso Silay. The streets filled with a festival atmosphere as those crowd cheer for their own. Trivia. Silay, a local legend, tells of how Silay got its name. It is said that in the days of the Daityos and Rajas, there once lived a princess named Silay. An attack on the settlement by pirates thwarted when the princess bravely led the people in the village's defense. The fight was furious and the princess fought like a seasoned warriors. Morals that used to grace some of the city's buildings depict her as a fierce fighter. Wielding a huge talibong, a short native single-edged sword, the pirates sorted but the cost of Princess' life. Her paramour arrived in time to see her die. In brief, the people lovely buried here. To their surprise, a tree grew over her grave, the first Silay tree, a final gift from the brave princess. The increasing popularity of the Hugyao Silay Festival year after year is a testimony of Silay's strength as one key player in the tourist industry. Silay is a Silay City's festival about a folk tale showing the bravery of the princess Silay, who defended her people and fought courageously with her life against the pirate invaders. They were successful in driving out of the pirates, but the princess died in the battle. Her people were surprised after a tree grew from the ground where they buried her body. The festival is held every June 12, the Charter Day of Silay, and it's highlighted by a street dance competition. History of Silay. Founded in 1760, Silay involved from begin an old Spanish settlement migrant families from Iloilo gave figure to Silay, making an important commercial and agricultural settlement during the Spanish era. In 1846, cultivation of sugarcane led by Yves Leopold Germain Gaston made the town prosperous. November 5, 1898 played a significant role in Silay histories. Sugarcane workers attacked the Spanish garrison and made the Spaniards surrender peacefully. It was a bloodless revolution. The Philippines flag was raised for the first time at the public plaza. Silay, famous for its artists and cultural shows, became the Paris of Negros. Kahirop Theater was the center of these activities. Jose Pitong Ledesma, a Silaynon pianist, conductor, and philanthropist, was one of those responsible for inviting operetta and zarzuela performers from Europe. Silay is the second town in Negros Occidental to become a city on June 12, 1957.
The parish of Silay was established in 1776 and its first church was built of light materials, bamboo, cogon grass, and nipa palm during the time of Gobernador Silvio Aleo's Liberinos administration. Padre Aleo Ignacio de Molinas, a Spaniard, was its first priest in 1841. Then parish priest Father Subio Locsin initiated the construction of a more permanent structure made of stone and wood. The roof was improved through the use of galvanized iron. Further improvements were done, but when the revolution broke out in November 5, 1898, the church was left unfinished. In 1925, work began on grander structure meant to replace the old church. Don Jose R. Ledesma, a resident of Silay and a wealthy sugar baron, donated a substantial portion of the funds needed to build the new edifice. The rest of the money was raised through popular contribution, including fundraising by school children. Don Jose Ledesma commissioned an Italian architect, Lucio Bernasconi, to design the new church. Bernasconi was also responsible for the design and construction of the Silay Wall, which was raised by Imperial Japanese soldiers during the Second World War. Bernasconi took the churches in his native Italy as the model for the Silay Church. The church layout is in the shape of a Latin cross with cupola rising 40 meters above the nave. Construction was completed in 1927 and the new church was inaugurated that same year.
El Ideal Bakery was established in the 1920s by the late Cesar Lacson Locsin and his sisters. Some recipes served today were served years ago. In the late 1950s, he handed down to his daughter, Mrs. Alice Locsin. So I will show you their latest delicacies. They have some sinambag, as you can see. Then there is a polvoron and moringa stick. And another one, there is a buko pie, pineapple pie, and another kind of pie. The bakery specialized in homemade breads and cookies and was handed down from one generation to the next. And also, the bakery had involved since now. 5 de Noviembre es Negros Day in Negros Occidental that Negrenses is celebrated every year to commemorate the Negros revolutions that happened during the Spanish colonial rule of the island. 5 de Noviembre, Spanish term for November 25, was the culmination of the secret political movement had created a government in Negros Island. Balay Negrense, also called the Victor F. Gaston House. It was built during the height of Silay as the region's culture and economic center. So if you enter the house, you can see first the living area and also the stairs. And the furniture was repaired and restored also. As you can see, it was renovating and refurnishing it. And the front of the house is a nice garden and water fountain. And I'll show you the third to the last, the bedroom. The first floor has a receiving area flanked by 3 bedrooms on each side. And the last one, this area was spacious and well ventilated. A display of antique furniture and other memorabilia in every corner of the house added to the opulent atmosphere of ancestral house.
First, Sinda Bilesa's Lumpia. For 50 years, Rosalinda Bilesa has been making fresh lumpia, a recipe that was passed down by her mother with a few renditions of her own. It is arguably the best fresh lumpia ubod in Silay. Lumpia ubod usually consists of young coconut palm, pork, shrimp, and chibis. But instead of chibis, Alan Beleza uses cabbage. What makes her lumpia unique are the crunchy chicharron bits and overall savory flavor. You can find her lumpia at the Central Market or order directly from her home. Sinda Beleza Lumpia, Santo Niño Ville Subdivision, Silay City. Second, Padre Gigi Castro Milenario Adobo. Adobo Milenario has an intriguing name. Could it be because it was prepared by millionaire, or it is because of the richness of taste that earned this adobo its life? Taste a Negros family recipe with Padre Gigi's version of adobo. It's your regular adobo but cooked with a generous amount of garlic and rich flavor that make you feel like you're hit the jackpot. Third, Maria's Bakery. Maria's Bakery opened its door in 1980 and has since been serving freshly baked bread with all favorites like cookies and pan Americano buns. But their real specialty is the lubid-lubid.
And that's all for our video, guys. As you can see, we presented to you some brief history of Silay City, their famous historical houses, their famous historical church, their famous festival, and some of their famous food. We are thankful for all the lessons that our teacher shared with us, all of this lesson and activity that our teacher given to us. I know it will really help us to gain more knowledge in our society as a student. In this activity video, we learned a lot on how to value our tourism and culture as a Filipino student. We are very proud that we had this project on how to know and explore our history and culture in our society. And we are very thankful to Mr. Ivan Catalan, our teacher in PHC7 subject, and he is the man behind this video activity. And we are really grateful at him. And to my group of members, of course, thank you. Thank you for sharing your amazing video. That's all.